welcome to Dubai Trains. Backgrounds on your model railroad layout are very important. They set the location, time, and atmosphere of the entire layout. But much like a lot of you, I'm not physically close to what I'm actually modeling, so going out on the street and taking pictures of backgrounds for myself is not an option. So in this video, I want to showcase where I get my images from, how you can build up the background scene and what to look out for, and lastly, how I actually make a background for my diorama. But let's first play that intro in the foreground. While I was on the interweb, I came across someone who had some really neat backgrounds, and I asked where he got it from, and he said he got it from LARC Rail products. So I immediately checked it out because I needed some backgrounds at the time. So you see a lot of examples that customers of LARC Rail products have submitted, and it's on his website. And looking at his website, he actually has quite a lot, everything from landscapes to billboards, curtains, newspaper, magazine clutter, moving sheets, fencing, graffiti, everything. So just looking at what comes with each volume, I just decided to get all of them because it doesn't cost that much more. So we get the USB, this is on it, volumes 1 to 5, all here, volume 6, 7 there. Just have a quick look at volume 6. So let's say here the landscape backgrounds, because that's I think what most people are looking for. There's a whole load, these are all previews, and it goes all everywhere from East Coast, West Coast, Pacific, seaports, industries. Let's just open one, cities and towns. And what you see, there's a lot of information here, there's a lot of images here, and it's a very mixed bag. There's something in here for everyone. It's also why I got all the 7 volumes, because then I'll definitely find what I'm looking for. And there's a lot of different variety, like some images have been shot from a little bit elevated view, some are from a more distance, some are like this one are more closer up, and it's from a street view. Some have here like railway terminal, Freeport Bridge. Others have a little pile in the foreground. Others only focus on the background. Some have more bushes. This is a small town. This is abandoned. So it's really, there is just a lot. And let's scroll through here. This actually is just a lot. And this is only volume 6 previews, city and towns. So that's just all I want to say about the LARC Rail products. It's a giant mixed bag, and there's going to be something in here for everyone. So all these images are nice, but how we actually want to make a background. Here we go. Here you see a track plan of my diorama. The grid is 2 by 2 centimeters. The main feature is this road. So the first thing we want is a road extension. So I found the nice one on the USB stick, and I needed a structure right here to fill it in the corner. Need some more structures here on the right. Then I wanted to fill in the background a bit, so there we go that. And then even more city scene way back behind there. And then a nice sky to tie it all in. Now I want to talk about this for a bit because there's a lot more that meets the eye. Now first if I zoom out, if you see I took a lot of time to find the right images. Also made notes of the images I actually used so I can find them easier. The backgrounds was definitely a thing. It took me a while to find one that I was happy with. Now something else important to note is that a background building is not always a background building. For example, these here, these 1, 2, 3, are true flats. So what you could do, what I could have done, is just take these 3 and put them here and then just make like a true flat background. But I wanted more depth and perspective. So that's what you see in these images right here. There's a lot of perspective. See, it's really sucking you into the street view right there. These buildings right here, they also have a lot of perspective, and initially I had these buildings, let's say here in the background. I just found it didn't really look nice, so I didn't use it. The perspective didn't add up. It also has to flow well. Use a totally flat image here because this is very in the foreground. It's going to be the same height and complementary to the structure here. It's in the corner, so you won't see it immediately. Another little trick I did, if you zoom in, this building, the Empire Foods, is actually sitting on the back of, let's call it a lot. So this one is actually a little bit smaller than it's supposed to be to force that perspective again. So you see it on the buildings here on the left as well. Something else to note, if I just open the background buildings from the USB stick as well, you see it's a mixed bag, right? So this one has the perspective we talked about. This one is truly flat. This one's flat. This one has shadow on it from the left. This one is a cloudy day. This is a sunny day. This one seems to be cloudy altogether. Here there's a very sun-struck facade of the buildings, and then a shady one on the side. So you need to take this account when you're collecting your buildings, your structures. So as you see, all my structures have this like glow on it because the sun is shining straight on the facade. And for example, this one did not have that. The original is actually something like this. So it's a normal structure, a bit of a shady area, and you have to play around a bit with for example, the saturation and the temperature tone to get it to where you want, and then it fits in with the other buildings because it all does have to blend and create like one homogeneous, scene. Same here with the background building. You see this is all sunstruck from the right, and the left is a sharp shade, so that fits there as well. So this is all to scale because we've got a grid right here. So what I did is just measured how tall is the structure, and then I just stretched it out to the right height, and then you automatically get the width, and then you'll see how it all fits on the layout. So now you have a plan. This is just a quick mock-up section. This is not the actual quality. So what I do is I go to the actual image, and I make a separate document in the paper size that I want to put a grid on it, and then I measure out all the structures. And as you see, I used forced perspective on this image on my diorama, so I didn't know how much to use, so I just printed it 3 times in 3 different sizes. And from this we go to the workbench. So driving back from the print shop, this is what you want to come back with: a whole nice pile of cardboard. Got a lot of different designs on here. I also photoshopped a little bit, to be honest, because this building was just too wide. So I came up with different versions to make it a bit smaller. This is the original. And I cut a few already, and I noticed a few things. For example, this one has a white background, or sometimes they have a blue background. And then you cut them out, and then you'll see that there actually be a white line that goes all around your structure. And that makes sense. So there's a few things you could do. You could just cut it off. But then you're going to lose a lot of detail. So what I did is I left a little white line, because when in the end you put it on a very light sky colored background, you're not going to see this at all. So this one, I printed it out a few times at the copy shop, and this one I found it very dark. You see it here, it's very dark. So I actually printed it again. This one's mirrored, long story, doesn't matter. And I cut this picture in half. You see it's the same building, and I made this side lighter. I just wanted this side to be lighter, and this side is a little bit lighter as well, because I just found it too dark. So that's an exercise you probably want to do. Also, you need to think like, what do you want? What do you want to preserve? Because this is a nice background image that's going to be all the way layered back just before the sky. And you see there's a lot of detail. We got a crane here, we got flags here, we got the sign here. But you're never going to cut this sign out, all like that. And these flag poles as well, that's just going to be a mess. So I actually cut it already. And you see, I just cut everything off. I just left the building, the structure, right there. And everything I cut off, well, you can see it. There's the crane there, the flags, and small little bits and bobs. So that's that. Now let's have a look at the diorama itself. So here's the diorama we're looking at today. And straight off the bat, you see we have the sky. That already adds quite a lot. And I would just start putting in some of the structures. You'll see that already with the sky, it already looks so much better than just a blue background or nothing at all, of course. So let me reiterate that this street right here and the street right here is a very important part of this diorama. So let's just get started with these sections right here. Something like that. Then it will line up nicely with the street. I do want to see a little bit of this building, I think. Maybe not. Maybe just put it flat out like that. Then I just want to have the flagpole just visible. I think that will be nice detail together with this billboard, just to give a little bit of a depth and effect. And then we have this giant stretch over here on the right, and I have this piece for that. And there's also some options. I'm thinking I might cut off this one building here if I need to, and then also cut off that modern car. I think it would fit nicely here. And then if I put the structure back, that will just create a bit of a, a focal point, pointing more towards this area. Now what I described earlier are these white lines, and you see that as well already starting to appear here. So here it's fine. I'm not going to do anything because it just fades in with the background. Here you see it as well. You can hardly notice it. But here you start to see it because the background is not white. There's a very easy trick for that. You just take these markers in a grayish color and you just color in basically the white paper that you're seeing. Then that line will just fade away. Now we have another structure here. What's important about this is mostly the top section, just to create some more skyline. This bottom is not period correct, and it's a bit boring also. So this one is planned somewhere around here. Now if we just look all the way at the left, we have this true flat. And this one fits exactly right here. Measure that out nicely. So that really makes that scene look like a busy street as where this continues into the depth. So there we have Empire Foods. This is the part where we're going to use some force perspective. So it's a little bit smaller than it should be, and put it way back here. And with force perspective, I think you can see it. If I just put a car here, that's the scale, then that will give an idea that the car is here and the car you see there is smaller. So that is the force perspective in action, just as you see it right there. Now we have our background. Let me just add that. Yeah, something like that. Now, as I said before, just to illustrate, I had this building as well, and I was thinking I could place it like somewhere here. But as you'll see, or at least as I see, I didn't like it. It just looked weird and odd, and the perspective was just too much. It's too much forced perspective. I'm not saying I could never use it, especially if maybe you have a building in the foreground here. You can use this part to blend it in. Now, some other things to point out, that car is not period correct. So what I can do is just take a car like this, chop it in half, and then just stick it against the back wall, and no one will notice that. I still need to blend the background street in with the actual street, but we'll do that later once I have the colors set for the actual road. So now one final touch, just to give you an impression of what it's finally going to be. Look at that. I like the structure well, that's why I put it here, because it gives you some layers to blend in with the background. And from this camera perspective, this is not the right location, but if I move the camera angle like this, then you really see the layers that we're starting to create. And that's what you need to get some kind of depth and some illusion. All that rests now is to take some kind of spray adhesive, spray the backside of the buildings, and just stick them on to the sky, and then we're good to go. Now, I'm really happy with the background and the sky and all the images and how everything came together, all thanks to LARC products. So have a look at their website. If you want to see a layout that is finished, check the video in the left top corner, and in the left bottom corner I explain why I'm making this diorama in the first place.